So yes, we are recording this. If you have questions while we're going through this, please type them in the chat, and Jack and I will do our best to answer them while we're going. But that at the end, we will open it up for any live questions that people might have that we did not answer or thorough enough, and then we will post this to our YouTube channel later today. So if you want to rewatch it, you are able to. And with that, I'll pass it over to Jack.
Fantastic. Thanks, Assad. It's nice to see everyone, for the first time or again, if you've seen you before. Happy to jump on here and kind of share more about this program here. I'm Jack Phan. I am the program director for the Oregon AI Accelerator, a longtime entrepreneur here in Portland, a couple exits myself, and working with founders is one of my passions and helping them kind of go from, zero to one and go from idea to investable, whether you need investment or not. Getting to a point where you are investable is showing that you have traction, leverage, and success. So I'm excited to take on this. And I apologize, Assad. I took your name off here because I did it for the collegiate thing over the weekend. But Assad, could you kind of give your introduction and background as well?
Yeah, sure. So, Assad, but I direct the Metro Region Innovation Hub, which is a free service. We connect entrepreneurs in the Portland metro area with resources to help them get to the next level. We do that mostly through a thing called navigation sessions, and you're welcome to sign up for a free one via our website. It's open to any entrepreneur who's looking to get connected. We also do events. We have an event this Friday, Startup Cafe, where you can actually learn about accelerator programs in the region or nationally, not just this one. That's from 9 to noon in our space in downtown Portland. And we also have a mentor program, which we are going to be relaunching soon. My background, I've run accelerator programs for about 15 years, first in ed tech and then in pet care, and have done it all. So really excited about helping Portland area founders go from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, depending on where they're at. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Assad. So I'll just kind of dive into it. So the mission of the Oregon AI Accelerator is really a strategic partnership that we're focusing on bringing together all the top universities, organizations, investors, really to work together and to make an opportunity within the ecosystem here to really bring this talent, capital, community together and set Oregon as this hub, as a premier hub for AI entrepreneurship. Right? There's so much that's happening in the world of AI, and then as everyone knows, AI, saying AI powered or AI enhanced is gonna one day it's gonna go away because it's gonna be expected that everyone is using AI in some form or fashion in their business. But at this point, we're working on helping you leverage your opportunities to build with AI or build AI within your application and bringing the knowledge and information that we have there. So why Oregon and why now? Well, Oregon has always been uniquely positioned to lead AI innovation with its academics, the startup scene, the corporate ecosystem. But by collaborating, by working together, and not being Silicon Valley or Seattle, our focus is on creating impact, having an ability to solve real problems using AI, whether that be software, robotics, health care, fintech, and so many different types of applications. And I think Oregon is really focused on where the impact is and how we can ground ourselves with the things that we bring out to the market as well. So, and as I mentioned, these are some of the partners in the ecosystem: Portland Metro Region Innovation Hub, Portland State, OEN, TAO, TI Oregon, Oregon State, OHSU, and Google, to name a few. There's a couple of new sponsors as well as partners that are in the ecosystem that we are continuing to add to this program. And so the purpose and the program is, really five things that we kind of focus on in this wheel, which is, to validate your product market fit, understanding what wedge you're trying to, solve for, who that person is, and does your product fit that problem that you're trying to solve, right? Not trying to boil the ocean, trying to identify that wedge and get to that target audience that you're trying to achieve. And again, You may not be the only one. There's probably others out there trying to do the same thing or are doing the same thing. But where can you improve and which market can you address and help out in that process? We want to be able to strengthen your go-to-market strategy. Once you've identified the product market fit and then the solution that you're bringing to the problem, how do you plan on going to market? And what tools within AI, how are you doing it within your own platform solutions or whatnot, and making sure that you have a strong foundation for that go-to-market. And then we'll get pitch and investor ready, right? Our network of mentors, organizations here will really be focusing on, how do you deliver this pitch so that, get to the heart of what you're trying to solve and how it can, scale with the right support if you need it, right? And a lot of founders will, have an idea and try to raise money on that idea, and those were the good old days. And now you actually have to build a business and build a product and build traction before you can go out and raise capital. And so we want to make sure that you're there with traction and leverage, and then also creating equity for yourself so that when you go out to raise capital, you're not giving up a big chunk of your business in doing so. And then the Oregon's founder community is beginning to thrive and multiple cycles up and down. But I think where we're at today is a really great opportunity to kind of grow this ecosystem and add new people that can help create a much more powerful founder community within the state of Oregon, Southwest Washington, and Portland this year. So the timeline for this inaugural pilot, as you know, application has started on November 17th. Those of you who have applied, fantastic. For those of you who haven't, you have until the 15th to do so. We'll have decisions made by January 15th with letters going out, interviews after the deadline through the 15th. And so we'll reach out and try to connect with you and give you a chance to share your idea and your pitch with us as well. And then once we get to notifications by January 15th, we'll have the programs kick off in February of next year. That will go 15 weeks until May 15th. So the in-person blocks, there will be 4 in-person blocks, one each month. And the first block will be from February 2nd through 13th. So that's a 2-week block here, which will then kick off, get you onboarded, start building team building within your cohort, as well as the people that members of your team, your co-founders. And then we'll do a mentor speed dating where we'll match you up, or you'll match yourself with the different mentors we have in the platform or within our organization. We have, I want to say, almost 100 mentors that have reached out, and we're kind of fine-tuning that down. But ideally, we'll get you connected with 3 mentors. One of them will be me, plus 3 more mentors, which will then, we'll have throughout the 15-week cycle, you'll have one-on-ones with them, as well as be able to work with them to answer any questions or make sure you're headed in the right path along this way. And then the first 2 weeks, we'll kind of add on the last part, which is the technical and market validation. So we'll dive, a little bit into what your business is, what your business plan is, the technical side of what you're trying to achieve, where you're succeeding, where are the holes that you need to fill, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that to a validation point that allows you to, turn your idea or turn your business into scalable, investable type of business. Second block will happen in March, will be 1 week, and that 1 week will have be focusing on technical deep dives, right? Looking at what your technology is, and are you using the latest, the best, the greatest, or have you analyzed and compared with your competitors what they're doing and how you can improve that? We'll dive into those technical deep dives. We'll look at the mid-program sprint that will allow you to execute in a very agile way through the end of the program. And then we'll also dive into some customer discovery. You understand who are your customers, who are the clients, the users, and the ones who will ultimately pay for this, or if they're already paying, how do we make sure that we provide them with the right tools for that audience. And again, you may discover new audiences in the process by going through this discovery. Block 3 will happen in April, the 6th through the 10th, and we'll then start focusing even more. And probably before that, we'll have some ideas based on the information you give us, as well as the things that we talk about. But we'll focus on go-to-market strategy, the pilots and partnerships that can help you get users and feedback and customers quickly, and then start preparing you for investors as we head into the final month of the program. And then finally, when we reach May 4th through the 15th, it will be a 2-week block here in May. We'll work on refining your pitch, setting up investor meetings for you, and getting to you to graduation. And graduation is really being able to pitch in front of the Oregon Innovation Showcase, as well as the Startup Week pitch day, pitch competition, and get you out there pitching what all things you prepared over the last 15 weeks, and having you refine to the point where you can demonstrate that you've achieved this much success, and you have traction, you have leverage, you have customers, you have an MVP or a product that's out in the market, so that you're about to make change, you're about to have impact and solve problems for whatever problem you're trying to solve, whatever industry. So all these in-person blocks, we encourage and highly recommend that you will be here during those weeks. We have co-working space here as well at PSU and the Metro Hub here, where you'll be able to work within the environments with other members of the cohorts, as well as your own team. We'll have desk space, and we have sessions and workshops happening all the time here with different events, and so you'll be able to access and go to those events as well to further refine and solidify your product, and ask questions that allows you to make your solution the best it can be. Each weekly structure will be really 10 to 15 weeks from a structured standpoint. We'll have, like I said, events and all these things happening. But from an ask is we'll have one-on-one, sessions with me just to go over, where do you want to be? How are you going to manifest the reality that you want to get to, and then how are you going to execute, right? And how do you level up yourself so that you can leverage the tools, understand what other things, what gaps that you might be missing to help you achieve the success you need to achieve. We'll have a mentor support group. We'll have founder therapy circles. And these are all things that builds strength in who you are and what you're able to do by making sure that being an entrepreneur can be a very lonely and painful thing over the years, but the reward is very rewarding from everything that you learn either through failures or through success. It's really about keep going, keep grinding, keep churning, pick yourself back up and get through to the end. So we'll have hands-on builder workshops, AI skills developments, and then really, again, the focus is on getting your foundation as solid as possible so you can actually set these milestones and start to reach them. The mentorship model that we developed, we focus again, like I said, on the one-on-one sessions with myself, but you also have speed dating that I mentioned in this probably the first or second week of February that will focus on identifying your gaps and finding mentors that can help fill that in or reinforce the ideas and things that you have. And then we'll focus on the execution, guidance and feedback, and ensure that you're on the path to success. So what do you guys get? What do founders get from this program? Well, mentorship and guidance, cohort community, user feedback. We're working on setting up some cloud credits, AI tools, and some perks for your businesses. We have already a couple of companies that have offered their tools for free to the cohort as well. We'll have co-working space, networking space here for all the different events, as well as working within, getting out of your home. If you're in your home office or home room, it's actually nice to be in a place where you can gain from the energy that's in the community here. And then we'll have technical business workshops that you'll be able to go to that can help either on legal, marketing, compliance, or just getting deeper into the technical side of things. We'll have AI experts and AI vendors that will be able to demonstrate their product and see how that could potentially be used in your business as well. And then we'll work on making sure that your investor and pitch readiness by the time that you graduate this program. And so we're working on increasing the prize, the equity-free grant prizes. Right now we have $50K secured for the top 3 winners of the inaugural cohort during pitch day, pitch events. But we're working on securing more and trying to get 150 to 200K. And again, this is an ask if you're here, as not a founder, but you're here to see how you can support the organization. There's a lot of different ways, and this is one of the ways that you can contribute to that. And really, all this goes to the founders so we can make sure that you have the ability to grow and scale with resources that can inject a good amount of support for your execution. So, and these awards will be, like I said, during at demo day, and you'll need to be a part of the program and active here at least 90% in order to be eligible for those prizes. Some of the things here that we have on our selection criteria. So as you're filling out your application, or if you filled out your application already, keep in mind these are the things that we look for. And we're 30%. We're looking at who is the team, who are the co-founders, and what do you have in place? Are you working solo or do you have a co-founder? That'll be 30% of kind of the weighted rubric criteria of how we evaluate your application. We'll also look 25% of your problem market fit, right? Product market fit, and understand if you're solving a problem, who the market is, and is that a viable market that can allow you to grow and scale. 20% will be weighted on the AI edge, right? How does your solution differentiate, or how are you using AI in your business that allows you to have an edge and an opportunity to really grow and scale beyond what's already out there or what doesn't exist yet. And then 15% we focus on traction. How much traction do you have? If you have a lot of traction and you're trying to get over the hump, then we'll look at that. If you're just have an idea and you've started to build a prototype, but you haven't really got to the next part, then those would be gaps and areas that we'll want to work on. So it'll be 15% of the criteria. It doesn't mean you have to have either one or the other. Ideally, you have something in the works as far as prototype goes. But when we select these startups, we'll be looking at that as well. And then the last criteria is the organ alignment, making sure that the companies that are a part of this program will have an impact, and based here in Oregon, whether you're here already or you're somewhere else in the world or in the country. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to grow, with you and use Oregon as a base for that growth with the support and the organizations and the state that funding that's here. So. Application process is pretty straightforward. It's a simple application. If you've done any Y Combinators or any of these other ones, it can get very, very intense. This one is actually pretty simple. You can go apply on the website, Oregon AI Accelerator.com, and fill the application, ask a couple simple questions, a couple AI tools to help refine what you type in there or what you paste in there. And then just be yourself, demonstrate the answers, and be able to talk about what it is that you're solving, the idea, your passions, and all the things that related to why you want to be part of this accelerator. We'll have a rolling review process here that will start. That's already actually kind of started already, but we'll go through and review every applicant, and then we'll schedule interviews with those that kind of make it to the next round. And like I said, just January 15th, we'll be able to make a decision for that. Demo day, our goal is to get to where we can get to demo day on the last week there, where you'll be able to pitch in front of investors and partners, have your final pitches ready to go, and then we'll also make sure that you've gained traction and you have a future roadmap where you're going to go. So even when you're done here, our goal is to continue to work and stay connected with you, make sure that you are able to achieve success by executing not just after the program, or not just by completing the program, but after the program. What's your roadmap look like, and are you able to go out and achieve and solve those problems? So then these are some of the questions I get asked on a regular basis, which is, do I need a technical co-founder? No, you don't. But it would be good to have a co-founder, someone who can work with, and maybe during this program, those are also opportunities for you to find a co-founder based on the needs, right? Because solo founders apply, absolutely, and you are encouraged to, but the strength of your team will also be part of that weighting. Is travel required? We do expect that for those in-person weeks that you are here, it's 15 weeks, but there are 2 weeks and 1 week blocks in those 4 months. But you also have a place here to work. We have a phone booth, we have conference rooms, we have all these sessions that are happening here, so you can join those. But if you're in Southern Oregon or you're outside of the state, being here for the in-person ones will be required at least 90% of the time, and which is majority. So we understand if you have other things going on, but those who will find the most success are those who can be here. And we do not take any equity. This is, a program that really to help launch founders. Our goal is to get you equity-free grant prizes and get you set up and connected with investors, whether you need the investment or not. But yeah, Oregon AI Accelerator is really focused on helping founders achieve what you're trying to achieve and solve those problems. And then, like I mentioned, time commitment is 15 weeks throughout that process. So now, just apply by December 15th. We're accepting for the 2026 inaugural cohort, OregonAIAccelerator.com. And I'll kind of open it up for any type of questions or things that you
Uh,
may have been seeing along the way
Jack,
there.
can you just share a little bit about your background too?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career back in the 90s, Web 1.0. I was going to school actually in the medical field, but then I hobbied in coding. Is that a major hobby, coding? But I joined my first startup in 1996, raised $26 million in the early dot-com days, where you needed to have millions just to build a server room and servers and have equipment and furniture and office space. And so we built that up. That is today we sold that off in 2001, right at the when the bubble was bursting, and we sold that to what today you'll know as Home Advisor and Angie. I built a second business right after that and raised $0. So we bootstrapped the entire business, finding out that we can do this without having to raise money, and we grew that over the course of 7 years and sold that to a Bay Area company in 2008. And so since then, I've been an investor, advisor. I've worked with many, many founders. I've joined companies on the executive level. I've built teams and then ran my own software company in the last 4 years, where we converted that to an AI platform, which is where we really, in 2022, started really dabbling in AI and realizing the capabilities that were coming and the opportunity. And so we transitioned that platform. And then, in the past year alone, I've helped 6 founders launch their businesses in a matter of 4 months. And most of them came to me originally asking for money to fund their venture and whatnot. And I showed them that it can be done without raising capital, at least to build leverage on yourself, so that before you go raise, you'll be able to build leverage, and then by the time you do go raise, you have a business that is worth growing. So that's kind of my background. I've worked with many different companies. I've been at Digital Trends, Money Crashers, you know, uh, Service Magic, which then became Home Advisor, Reliable Remodeler, which sold to Quinn Street in the Bay Area, and then AirDeck AI, as well as a lot of the companies today that have just launched Skills with Benefits, Menu Mingle, and so a couple other businesses as well.
Great. Yeah, for those of you who don't know a lot about accelerator programs, really the goal is to supercharge you. It's kind of like a mini grad school is what I liken it to. We're gonna inundate people and participants with mentors and information and all sorts of stuff so that you can, within 3 months or 15 weeks, really be poised to make a difference in the marketplace and be on the path of scalable, investable if that's, if investable is where you want to get to. And so that's really, the goal. And, just with all the advancements in AI, I think that, yeah, the goal is to really, with Jack's guidance and help, just supercharge you and really, help us make, Portland a hub for AI and AI startups. Do people have any questions? Feel free to put in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, I can call on you individually.
Good to see some familiar faces. Mo, see you over there, man. How you doing?
Nick had a question about what time of day are the in-person blocks and which days during each block. Yeah, so we're still working on that, and I think generally we're going to be what I've told how I've run these things before is like Monday through Thursday is really when there's going to be some content. In the first week and the last week, you're going to be spending a lot of that time just like meeting with people and all that kind of stuff. But you won't have oh, sorry. Can people go on mute, please? Um, you won't be like 9 to 5 full on. There will be times that you can work on your company or do other stuff. But yeah, those in-person weeks we're asking people to kind of block 9 to 5. And then I think the caveat to all this is like this is our first time doing this, and so I think that if we find that there are a subset of people that are like maybe they're working during the day and it's better to have sessions at night, maybe we'll move some of the in-person stuff to some night things, and that's going to be determined on when people when we find that the 20 companies or so that we bring into the program. Jack, do you want to add anything to that?
No, yeah. I mean, we want to try to be flexible with people's schedule, but we also want to ensure that we have some consistency in this program. So, we'll work to develop that. My goal is to make sure that we have things going on during the day throughout the session, but there will be some activities that will happen in the evening, and we can work through those schedules to make sure that you're able to attend and find the success during those times.
Cool, thank you.
What about startup who already have a product built? Yeah, 100%, Lord. I think that we're already seeing people that have product, everything from idea to product and market with revenue. And our goal is to find the best of the best of the startups that are applying and put them through this program. And so my guess is that it'll be a mix of people that are already a product and already have revenue, with some people that are at the idea stage. It all kind of just depends on so much. But yeah, certainly, I think for us, what we're looking for is, as we were deciding this, who has the chance of, yeah, the biggest impact, biggest success in the ecosystem. Mo has a nice little, yeah, testifies to Jack's advice. Talk about that was a nice comment, Mo. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jack can be a game changer. John, if my goal for this time frame is to find and work with design partners, can that fit into this program? I know you're gonna hate this answer, but it kind of depends on what you're working on and your background and who the team is and all that kind of stuff. I think for a lot of companies, especially at the early stage where maybe they're at the idea or prototype, the real question that we'll ask you if you make it to the interview round is like, why this time should you go in the accelerator program as opposed to the next time when we run it? Like if it is your goal is to find, design partners or whatever, perhaps, that's something that you should be doing independently, and then you'll be better poised to take advantage of what the program has to offer, next time around. But again, it all depends on what we see in the applications and how you compare against the other people, and whether we think the idea that you're working on is worth we think that you're going to get a lot of benefit for being in the program now.
Yeah. I also see a question here from Benjamin Barber, where did it go? My question just disappeared.
The what are you doing with regards to people who are needing artificial intelligence domain knowledge expertise? It seems like a large learning curve for a lot of people, especially
Yeah.
non-technical founders.
Yeah, so let me answer that one. So I mean, th those are the founders I've actually worked with the most, are the founders who don't have a lot of technical knowledge, but they have a solution that they want to bring to the market, and they have some ideas around AI that they can use to leverage and build and grow. And so this community that we're bringing together is we have different partners and mentors and different those who run like AI Collective, for example, or any of these AI Portland events that are here is there is the technical side, which is go deep. You're an AI guy, you person, you develop AI tools, and you are a developer. That's fantastic. You may need assistance on the business growth side, and then looking at how to develop a business plan and execute on that. On the flip side, where I find a lot of success with founders are those who just have a passion for solving real problems in the world that will have impact. That's the biggest one that gives me an opportunity to work with them because the tools that are available today can keep getting better and keep improving, and it allows for those who can take advantage of those tools to be able to do things that traditionally would take you months or years. And now, Mo is one of those people, right? As well as a couple other founders who are non-technical founders now have tech companies that they in 4 months launched and built and launched. So it's really, we want to bring the knowledge and the expertise wherever you are in your business, whether you are technical or non-technical. We have the mentorship and the guidance and the tools. And even if you think you know everything in business or technology, it's always, I'm still learning today after 25 years of doing all the things I do. I still learn every day, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, agreed. Sterling was asking how will the team measure potential impact of a project, revenue, or ability to solve problems for the end users? Definitely both. I think the real question is whether the solution will be scalable in some way, shape, or form, and whether it can address a big market, whether that's number of people or potential revenue. We are looking for kind of like game changers in some way, shape, or form, and then also, that said, I've worked with a lot of first-time entrepreneurs that didn't realize how big the potential market was for their product until they were in the accelerator program and had conversations with mentors and realized, oh, they weren't sitting on $1 million idea. They were sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars of an idea. So, that'll be for kind of us to determine as we're going through the application process and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And one of the philosophies I have in business and really anything is the more you think about something and hope to get there, the longer it will take to develop something, even if you think you're refining and getting to the perfect solution. In today's age, you need to move quickly, right? Your moat is no longer the technology that you are building because reality is once it's out there, someone can build it again and probably build it better with the different tools. The moat now is actually on the impact that you're creating and the customers and clients that you've been able to gain and the traction you can do there. And so that takes speed, and speed means you need to understand how to launch a business properly and how to use the tools and allow you to be able to execute in a way that allows you to iterate, right? Get that feedback from customers and grow and move quickly and then stay ahead of the game when it comes to that. So, if you're, right now looking at your technology and thinking about protecting it from an IP perspective or ensuring that it's going to be airtight, you can spend a lot of time and money doing that. And I'm not going to discourage that. There are some technologies out there that require that. But for most others, it's just getting out to market and being able to capture the audience, capture the customers, work with them to improve your product, improve your offerings. And that's where you can start to gain traction very, very quickly and get funding or just continue to grow to be able to scale. So.
Um, Lord Amdahl, what does the program focus solely on pedagogy, or does it include hands-on labs and actual items? Yeah, I think we're leaning more towards hands-on labs, and I think yeah, we really want you all to come away with like how stuff is going to impact your company and working on things. That said, I think that we're going to, because this is our first time doing this, we're going to listen to what the founders have to say before the program starts and during the program. And if we need to change things up or adjust or bring on more pedagogy or less, we'll make those changes. Yeah, and or learn how to say that word. I think that we'll do all that.
Yeah.
Ben, what kind of AI labs, incubators are that are out there taking inspiration from? I've run a bunch of them, and so I think Jack has spent many hours talking to ChatGPT and the others to level up, and also people that have gone through a bunch of the other programs or run other programs. There are a lot of those type of people in town that were taking inspiration from.
Yeah, and I think, when it comes to, incubators, accelerators, labs, you know, in the past, it continues to evolve. They do it a certain way, and then they identify, a better way of doing it. One of the mantras I have is find new ways of doing old things, right? And so, just like your business that you're building, this is a business that I'm running right now, which is, a startup in itself, right? And it will evolve, it will grow, but I take knowledge and information from what I understand that's there today, and I hope to make it better and a better fit for wherever we are, right? It's not copying another person's model. It's about improving what we have for the audience that we have. And the audience here are founders and entrepreneurs here in Oregon, and as well as those who want to have an impact in Oregon. And we'll focus our efforts and mentorship and our guidance in that manner, not necessarily trying to build, unicorns like from Y Combinator or these billion-dollar business. That's not our goal. Our goal is to make success, have you find success, have an impact, and whatever path that is, can allow you to achieve the success you want to achieve. That's the main goal. And I talk a lot about this flywheel of entrepreneurship, myself included, as I've continued to grow in my career and things that I've done. I've always turned back and helped out the next founder, the next mentor, or the next small business or success story. And my goal here is, as I'm building these cohorts within this accelerator, that you become successful, so that you can, at at your point in your career, be able to do the same thing, right? And that's where I look at impact and value from our model. Again, not just trying to be a unicorn and make as much money as you possible. Let's make as much impact as possible in the solutions that you bring.
Alec had a question. Could the program or maybe a future version of the program be a good fit for established small business that want to reinvent themselves with AI? Yes, I think for this one in particular, I think if you are established and want to reinvent yourself with AI, I think then the question would be the same, like what's the impact and is it a scalable solution, type of thing. And then I think, yeah, for the future. So yeah, this is our pilot. And we are, already in talks with trying to potentially run other programs in specific verticals or, this is the first time anybody has said, specifically for small business that wants to transition. I think it depends on interest and funding and all that kind of stuff. We are open to a lot of things, but I think for us the main thing right now is to make this program as successful as possible, so that we can then go to our funders or other funders and say, hey, let's do it again, but with in this vertical or this thing, and also we want to do it across the state as well. So. Yes, and if you have ideas, Alec, in particular, happy to chat about what you're thinking. What else can we answer?
Just a show of hands of those who are on the camera. How many have actually applied already? Okay. And
Okay.
then the rest of you guys, what are you waiting for? Just-
You got the deadline. I'm very deadline motivated myself, so I would wait until 11:59 on the night before to hit submit,
Yeah.
and then I would email you, Jack, and be like, "My application didn't go through. Reopen it."
Yeah, and I did build the application process fairly quickly, and I've heard from some people that they clicked through and submitted the application before they were completed because they were just trying to see what other questions were there. So just be aware of that. If you there is a way to save your link, and as you're filling it out, it'll say, save your progress or send you a link that you can access to see where your application is. So if just in case you do, accidentally submit, but people just email me and I will uh, try to get those fixed for you as well.
Um, Katie asks, are the investors local investors, or is the new generation? Are you talking about people that are backing us, or the people that we are going to try to bring to mentor and all that kind of stuff backing? Yeah. R right now, our main funder who put in a little bit of money is Google, and then we are going out this week to find other sponsors, and they're not investors. This was a sponsorship essentially, and we are essentially a nonprofit running this, and so yeah, we're going out for sponsorship from anybody that's interested in supporting this initiative. And so yeah, if you know anybody or if you have deep pockets and want to sponsor, let us know. Yeah, we will be asking for sure for cloud credits and stuff. Should I invite people to move up here from the Bay Area to come apply yeah, total. This is open to anybody. We are specifically, I don't know, Jack, did you mention this? We want at least 50% of them to be from Oregon and then 50 up to 50% from elsewhere, as long as they're interested in opening up an office or that their primary customers or whatever are in the state. Our goal is for this to be like, an engine for economic development and for community um, uh, in the state. Leo, thanks as always for being our for promoting us.
Yep.
Leo is an accelerator director as well. Thank you. Um,
Yeah, working on those cloud credits, Katie. I mean, most companies, if you can get actually all these cloud credits, and that's some of the program that I hope to be able to share. Either in the program or actually on the website here pretty soon. But we'll have there are different ways you can actually access a lot of different tools by being a startup and having that information. Hopefully, the partnerships that we set up will allow you to get some different tools as well.
yeah. So Alex, is what ideas are expanding for more in the state? I think initially it's kind of like looking at where some of our university partners are and what they're doing. So like, OSU with a, big supercomputer down there. And then, I think, in the state, there's a lot of activity in drones and energy and advanced materials, rural as well. Like I think, that there are, like, yes, there are all sorts of things. And
Yeah, like
so
OHSU, we have OBI up there, and a lot of doctors and people, medical students up there that are also bringing their ideas to this as well. So health tech, fintech, well, there's a term for that. Lee may know, agricultural tech,
yeah,
um,
ag tech, yes,
ag tech, I think,
yes,
yeah. And then there's such, I
or
mean,
ag tech.
all over all different kinds of solutions. Again, the goal here is not any industry specific, any tech specific. It's really focus on allowing you to grow in this next stage. And like I said early in the beginning, back when you said, oh, you need to have a website or you need to have an email address. Nowadays you don't even question those things. And I think if you're not using AI in your application, that you will and have to have some use of AI in your operations or whatnot down the road. But we just won't call it that. It's just technology, right?
Yeah.
Intelligence and part of your technology. So
And part of why we are for this kind of first round really trying to cast a wide net is so that if we see there are 50 applications of people that want to do things in, I don't know, climate tech or whatever, then we can start having those conversations with funders or the state or whatever and be like, look, there's like 100 or so entrepreneurs that are chomping at the bit. Like, let's do a specific program for them. So that's also why kind of we're casting a wide net with this program. Um, Sky's the limit. Feel like this is the first accelerator to actually push down money in startups in Oregon. I don't know if that's true, but thanks for saying that. We will try. Are there any partnerships with OHSU for anyone interested in blah blah blah? Yeah. So yeah, we're close with a lot of those people, and there's no like set, like they're gonna do a partnership with one or two or three of the companies that come into the program. But if we will make those introductions, and then it's up to the startups to close it. And all that depends on what the partners are interested at the time. and if they have, capacity, availability, all that kind of stuff. But we will make those introductions for sure. Cool, cool. Um, Yeah, I think we've kind of gotten to the end of all the questions. I think my advice, having run a bunch of these processes before, the way that I've seen people review applications on the judging, like there are a couple turnoffs. One is like make sure you spell check, especially in this day and age, and with AI and grammar check type of stuff. Also, don't like have AI actually write your application, for you. Make sure that you are um, putting your mark on it. I would say there's some people that will might just look at the deck, and there might be some people that might just read the answers, or there are people that will do both. That's why we ask for that. And in the past, we've also asked people for a video in other accelerator programs that I've done, and some people just watch that. So, just an FYI. It is an art, like we are taking 20 companies. I'm guessing we're going to get about 200 applications. And so and we're only human, and so we will likely miss some really awesome projects just because, we all have our hidden, biases as to what is good and what is bad, and we're doing our best to use AI to make sure that we aren't, biased in our individual, preferences when it comes to companies that, and market and impact and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, what
Yeah,
else?
when it
Okay.
comes to, my personal goal here is to try to help as many as I possibly can. I went from six business launches in the last 4 months, and I said, okay, what do I need to do to get to 20? And lo and behold, Oregon AI Accelerator is going to give me that opportunity to work with 20 of you. But at the same time, I will see every applicant that comes through, and every idea to me is a great opportunity, and it's really about the execution. And then, do you have a plan and how you're able to execute? And yeah, I mean, Sterling, the question is, yeah, if you're not accepted, are there additional opportunities to grow in this space? And yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, this organization now is set up in kind of a collaborative opportunity with all these different organizations, with all the universities in the state as well as the state of Oregon. And so, in reviewing this, the 20 that we'll take in, I'm hoping that we'll be able to match the others with other types of organizations or businesses or investors or mentors even, to help you continue to grow and thrive. And if we get past this cohort, I'm hoping that there'll be even other accelerators that will pop up and help out more founders. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to be the only one. I'm hoping there will be others that can handle and take on more, right? And that's my flywheel. Like, let's get as many people creating as many amazing businesses as possible. I mean, the world has a million bazillion problems, right? And it's going to take a massive amount of effort from people and humans to be able to identify those problems and provide solutions for a certain market. So yeah, I mean, I encourage you guys to keep building and keep creating, and hopefully you join this cohort and get our direct support. But outside of that, Metro Hub is one of those resources. OEN, Tao, Tai. There's a lot of resources here, and we'll work our best to try to point you in the right direction or identify where you are in your entrepreneurial journey. And when other cohorts open up, hopefully we'll get an opportunity to refine where you are so that you can get into those cohorts as well. And then I see, how are the mentors matched with startups? I built a mentor platform in the background that kind of identifies the strengths of the mentors, and that will also be used as part of the matching with the founders and the applications here. But in the second week of the second week of February, we'll do a speed dating type of opportunity where you'll speed date from table to table with a group of mentors, and then see if you can identify where there's a synchronicity, yeah, you guys are in sync and you're able to identify that there's a great collaboration opportunity, as well as a part of the backend platform will then also identify certain mentors that we would recommend you reach out to as part of the network. And so many people have reached out to me already, and so many people are a part of this mentor network that you'll be able to see, and they've offered their time, and you'll be able to shoot them an email or try to reach them if they're not already connected during one of the speed dating matching sessions.
I think just a note as well, like, yeah, we will have a roster of mentors and like, maybe the AI or maybe, during that speed dating, there's someone that wasn't available or didn't match, but you think would be good, then yeah, you just ask one of us and we'll make that introduction. And then similarly, us at the hub, independent of the accelerator program, that is that's what we do every day is we are trying to make those connections. And so, yeah, part of this is like, us can we can hand things out to the entrepreneurs, and then part of it is we'll ask the entrepreneurs to like, hey, go through Jack's LinkedIn or go through my LinkedIn and see who you want to chat with, and we can try to make those introductions as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of that when it comes to mentorships and introductions.
Fantastic. I think the questions are drying up. You guys got all your questions answered. I know it. And you're going to go out there and, make sure that you're ready for the program, and you're going to make sure that you get your application in by Monday. We'll have one more info session or ask Jack,
Ask
I
me
guess.
anything.
Ask me
Ask Jack.
anything. Yeah. Ask Jack. Yeah. Ask Jack AI. Yeah. But we'll go through any more questions, and then you have until Monday to get your application in. So feel free to reach
And
out if you guys have any questions, or check out the website to make
and
sure you stay up to date.
I'll just add tomorrow we are doing an open co-working at the space if you are interested from 9 to noon. And then on Friday we are doing a just a general accelerator meetup. It's our startup cafe, and we'll have five or six, I don't know, maybe six or seven different people that have run accelerator programs in town, answering your questions, and you can meet with them one-on-one, including Jack. So those you can find on our website, the Metro Region or portlandmetrohub.org. Great. Thank you
Awesome.
all.
Thank you, everybody.